must enrage you. This should never have happened. A border agent has been gunned down, murdered in a late-night shootout just 10 miles from the Arizona-Mexico border. 4 gunmen are in custody tonight, and several more suspects possibly connected to the shooting are being hunted down. But here's the question to which we must demand an answer from our government. What more has to happen before the federal government will step up and face down this growing war at our border and inside our border? Arizona Congresswoman Giffords joins us live, and we've spoken about this before, and you've been a champion to try to get attention from the federal government to that part of your state, but horrible news.
It was a tragedy. Agent Terry was 40 years of age, 3 years with the Border Patrol, about 10 years with the police department previously. He was also part of the BORTAC group, which was like a SWAT team, the most elite part of the United States Border Patrol. And for him to be murdered is a tragedy, not just for the Border Patrol agents, but for all Americans.
But, you know, it is the horrible thing is that who didn't know this was coming? I mean, this has been inevitable. You've been on our air with us saying that you need help down in that part of the state. Your 2 senators have been on, your governor's been on. You know, there has been demand for more help, and this was inevitable.
Yeah. Well, think about 27,000 Mexicans brutally being murdered south of the border because of the drug cartels and the drug violence. It's inevitable that that violence will spill up, both directly and indirectly affect us. Of course, the tragic killing of Rob Krentz, a 5th-generation Southern Arizona rancher. We have some real challenges. Secretary Napolitano was already headed to the U.S.-Mexico border, Southern Arizona. She's trip up so she could be with the Border Patrol, but it's that sort of focus that we need to have. I mean, not just the Secretary, but the President himself needs to come to Southern Arizona.
Well, he hasn't. And this, does it really have to take a murder? I mean, this is not new. Are you able to communicate to the White House? Are you able to say, because I know the Governor Brewer has actually been there and had discussion, a few more maybe National Guard are sent down there. We've spoken to Janet Napolitano, who's Director of Homeland Security. She says there are more bodies down there on the border trying to protect us. That's indeed true, but the fact is, it's not doing the trick. No,
it's true. And again, to give credit where credit's due, the number of Border Patrol agents have doubled in the last couple of years. We have 1,200 members of the National Guard along the U.S.-Mexico border. Over half of those are essentially, well, 560 are in Southern Arizona. We also were able to pass a $600 million border security funding bill. Bipartisan House, Senate was able to agree just a couple of months ago. But the tragedy still continues, that we have violence every day along the border. The President should be there. The Secretary's coming back. But, you know, as I often say, this is our oil spill. This is equivalent to the Gulf Coast oil spill, these tragedies along the Southern Arizona border. And it's critical that the administration steps up and acknowledges that. People are living in fear. Ranchers are living in fear. Our communities do not feel safe. And until they feel safe, I'm going to continue to put more pressure on the United States government, on the House, the Senate, and on the administration. I don't care which administration. The Bush administration didn't do as well of a job as they should have, and the Obama administration needs to do better as well.
We traveled to Mexico with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and in the last couple of months, I sound like a broken record, we've been covering this story almost every night of what's going on south of the border, is that she described Mexico as looking like Colombia, or being like Colombia of 20 years ago, and she's rebuked for that by both President Calderon of Mexico and President Obama. It's as though neither one of them will face the reality of really how bad it is. I mean, tell that to the family tonight of the murdered Border Patrol. But, you know, how do you get the President to go down and take a look at it? Your Gulf spill, in essence. How do you get him down there?
Well, I keep nagging, keep bugging. I've been bringing members of Congress down since I was first elected. That education is critical because, again, just because we live directly on the border, those of us in southern states, border and immigration problems affect everyone in the country. And the Mexican drug cartels are so sophisticated that they are set up all across the country and across the world, in fact. So, again, by, continuing to call out, those in charge, those that are responsible, I'm very happy that Secretary Napolitano will be in Arizona starting this weekend. It's critical that she's there, but we have to do more. And again, this is not a partisan issue. It has nothing to do with the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. National security begins with border security. That means starting at the U.S.-Mexico border.
Congresswoman, thank you very much, and good luck getting the President down to Arizona.